right, everybody good? All right, we've got 252 North Collingwood and 949 Maryland.
I don't have any information on there.
Okay, good morning, how are you?
Morning.
All right, so Joe's going to be coming up for Maryland? Okay. I was going to ask you if there was any particular order that you wanted these read in, but...
252 first, if we could.
Okay, that's fine. All right. Let me, if you can raise your right hand. State your name for the record.
Michael R. Franklin.
You affirm to tell the truth and give accurate information to the best of your ability.
I do.
Okay, great. All right, so per your request, we'll go with 252 North Collingwood Ave first. Let me just make a note here. Okay, so once again, 252 North Collingwood Ave. We've got a current tentative assessed value of $69,000 with a land value of $10,400. Petitioner believes the fair market value is $78,261. That would be an equatable assessed value of $45,000. And let me just look through here. So we've got a purchase date of July 28th of 2023. Non-arm's length transaction. Okay, so you've got not applicable, so the purchase price is not applicable based on the non-arm's length.
Right, it was a non-MLS sale,
Okay,
amongst other irregularities.
all right. And, okay. And she signed as approval for your presentation, so we're good.
Sure, just a little preliminary. I really appreciate Mr. Ryan's approach to that recusing himself. He actually left the room. It's the right thing to do. That's not always done, but it should be done. And as long as he's not discussing it in your secret meeting, I like the integrity of that.
Good, thank you.
An issue I do have as far as integrity is, and we are making progress. I got some data this year that I'm entitled to law that I established in Supreme Court. Public Officers Law 89-3A, they are required to generate the reports that I request. And now the FOIL law gives them some time to evade me until after bar, but they can't evade me. They have to get it to me by SCAR. But wouldn't it be nice so we had all the data at bar so that we could have an apples and apples conversation? To me, it's an integrity issue and it's a customer service issue. We made some progress. I went to the counter and I actually got a comparable sales report. But last year, I tried to get one and Tom threatened to have me arrested by the cops to get a comparable sales report.
It's not true.
Actually, I video recorded it.
If I asked them to remove you because you were creating a scene.
Yeah, because I wanted a comparable sales report.
Again, but I want you to start telling the truth.
It's I have it on video.
Bullshit.
I most certainly do.
Excuse me.
I think we all know that I record everything, don't we? So,
Yeah,
anyway,
we do.
it's my turn to talk. All I ask from the assessor is to act in good faith and to give me the data that I'm entitled to by law. And so this year I got some of the data, but Joe told me that the rest I'll have to get from the law department. Can I get my data so we can have a productive hearing? Because if I don't get the data, I already beat him in a lawsuit once. It's going to happen again, except this time there's going to be a pattern in practice. Just give me the data so we can, if you believe in what you do, you'll be proud of your data. Just give me the data so we can have a proper hearing here. Because it basically bypasses this bar if I don't have the data in time and I just have to go to SCAR. You know, it's just give me the data. I'm entitled to it by law. So anyway, let's get to the property here. I apologize for going off on that, but it's a constant struggle with these people. They don't want to give me the data because they know that I'll rip it apart because their methodology is bogus because they haven't done a reval in 25 years. So they have no idea what the inventories are. Okay, so anyway, let's get to this property. It was assessed for $45,000 for the past 25 years. So he did a neighborhood revaluation. You know, it's a violation of 305, RPTL 305, but you know that's what you guys do. And he raised the assessment to 69. Okay, so I looked at the street, and yeah, he revalued the whole street. So I calculated them out, and they average an increase of 16%. Okay, that's fine. But the increase on this property is 53%. So what the figure that I gave you there is taking the previous assessment and adding 16% like everybody else, instead of being singled out because of a non-arm's length sale. It's illegal. It's illegal to use the sale to begin with, and it's just completely bogus to use a non-arm's length sale. And the sale is completely non-arm's length. There's no realtor involved. There's only one attorney involved. They didn't get the home inspection until after the closing. It's a home headquarters deal, and if you look at the home headquarters deal, it looks a little fishy. All the fees and stuff that they're charging people is outrageous, and whatever they have going on with the Chicago title, it's not right.
Let me just interject one thing. So you said this property wasn't reassessed, the last reassessment on this property was 25 years ago.
No, for the whole city, but he did a local reval 2 years ago.
Oh, I see.
And so what I think is fair, you know, so I looked up all up and down the street, and I analyzed the assessments of all the properties up and down the street, and they averaged a 16% increase. Okay. So it should be 45,000 plus 16. There's no improvements. There's no renovations. You know, it's...
Let me just ask, when was the last time this was reassessed? Do you know?
Quite some time ago. I can't tell you exactly, but.
Currently, I'm
it
just
was,
looking
at
for
least back to
information.
2000, it was 45,000 since 2000.
Okay.
And
That's
then,
good to
and then
know.
in 2023, they went through the neighborhood, and all the other properties, their assessments didn't change since 2000. And so
Okay, so that was my other thing,
Yeah.
so,
yeah, let me see if I've got my glasses here. I've got a, you know,
we're thinking that, you know, in 25 years, there'd be a pretty good change in
yeah, it's called an
property
equalization.
values.
And then on top of the equalization, you know, they selectively assessed this neighborhood relative to the entire thing, so they're at a higher rate versus the rest of the city. That's not how you do a reval.
Well, it's a continual process. The reval, you may
It's a
have heard-
continual illegal process.
Well,
If an attorney were to sue this city, they could have this rule annulled without any trouble at all. But you know, nobody bothered to care. You know, they don't do revals for political purposes because they get voted out of office because it stirs up the public. But the thing is, you get paid to do the job, you do it, because otherwise it's called fraud. You
gonna
don't
be
do a
a
reval every 25 years. It's not right, and you know it's not right.
I don't know what the law is.
Here's some pictures.
But the reval is going to take place in 27 or 28.
It's about time, you know. But in the meantime, you know, do your reval in 28, but don't be singling these people out based on a non-arm's length sale. It's illegal.
Well, didn't you say that they did the whole neighborhood?
Yeah, and they gave them 16% for everybody, but they gave my client 53%. So I'm okay with 16%. Add 16% onto 45. That's fair.
I guess my question is, hold your percentage for a second. How does this assessment compare to the other assessments? In other words, was this particular property of lower assessment than everybody else 25 years ago?
It's
I
pretty,
don't know.
it's pretty uniform.
It's pretty uniform.
It's pretty uniform, but like I
So-
said,
so everybody-
all the houses on the street, the assessment hasn't changed since the year 2000.
Right.
It probably goes back to
But the
95.
But the new assessments are all, what did you say her increase was, 53%?
The home inspection is a little too old, but just scroll through some of those photos.
All right, but I'm trying to zero in on the, you said 53% was her increase?
Well, let Tom explain why it's 53 instead of 16. Have
Right.
him explain it,
What
and then
I'm
I'll come
getting
back.
at is all, and all the others average out to 16%.
That's right. Yeah, and
Okay. Let me just look at some of these pictures here. This is of the subject property?
that's right. Yeah, and so like I said, it was not an MLS listing. There was only one attorney, and I tell you, the entire thing is so irregular that
Does this person live here?
they do now, yeah.
Oh, was this prior to?
That's from
Just doesn't look
that's
like-
from the listing, but this is from the inspection from when she bought it.
Okay.
But that's just, you know, those are marketing photos,
Yeah, just.
if you can imagine.
Looked like there was nobody living here on these photos here.
Yeah, that's when they bought it.
Okay.
So 69, 45 to 69. 59, the neighbor went from 59.9 to 69. That's 15%
These photos are current?
of when they bought it, which was in 2023, July of 2023.
And then have they done anything prior to?
They've done no renovations whatsoever.
Okay, so these are, even though they were taken in 2023, 2022, it's the same condition today.
Right. Yeah, if you look at the roof, it's bad. The foundation, the basement is, I don't want to disparage my client's property on YouTube, but you can see the photos. Oh yeah, you've got that. But, yeah, 53. He took
All
it,
right.
he took it from the sale. It's illegal. It's illegal.
All right,
And,
so
you know-
I've got pictures of the basement in plenty. Do we have pictures of the inside currently?
There's the whole, it's the whole thing.
Okay, so I'm still working on the basement.
I can email that to you. I just don't want, you know, the interior of my client's home to be public information. So if you were to seal it, I have no problem emailing it to you.
No, I think that we're seeing it here. I'm just trying to get out of the basement.
And why they'd do a home
Amazing.
inspection after the closing is beyond me.
I would agree.
And I also have the property condition disclosure statement, pretty irregular too.
When you say "they," as far as the inspection, who is they?
I think it's got the name on it. I'm not familiar with them.
Right, but the
Well, I don't know who ordered it. You know, you would think the bank would order it before the closing, so,
the home inspection?
Yeah.
That's the buyer's responsibility if
Yeah.
they want a home inspection.
yeah. Yeah, you should have it before you buy it, would be my suggestion.
Of course.
But, you know, I hear people they need a home, you know, so they're kind of in
If they
tight
got the
streets.
basement well documented, there's no question.
And the garage is ramshackle. You know, I don't know if you remember the South Presbyterian Church. It was appraised for $1. It was assessed for $820,000, and it sold for $10 to an itinerant preacher. And basically, they laundered the NIMO bill and the taxes on an itinerant preacher. So what's the true value of the property? Well, and it's not 820, I can tell you that. So my point is that at some point in time, it's the cost of to tear down the house, what the cost to tear it down minus the value of the lot could conceivably be the value in some of these circumstances. And I've got their cost valuation report that has it at 50,000. Now, they say they don't do cost, but the beauty of a cost valuation report is that it's a default report from the state, and it hasn't been jerry-rigged, you know, so that's what I like about.
Take whatever you have.
That's what I like about default reports. And when I ask for a comparable sales report or a comparable assessment report, if you haven't run one, I ask to get the default report. Let's see, cost. Yeah, let me see here. This is,
Yeah, why don't you give us whatever you have, and then let me go over to Tom.
there's my argument.
Okay, good.
And, let's see.
All right, while you're looking for that, let me see what Tom has to say.
Okay, I was told to play nice and not to lose my temper, but it's very difficult when you're dealing with Mr. Franklin. For years, we sat up and listened to this gentleman.
We talk
call-
about the facts of the case? Just, you know,
No,
just
this
the
is going to be
data?
facts of the case,
Okay.
because you try to intimidate everybody, even the SCAR
No, I
hearing.
relay the
Shut up.
facts, and the facts
Shut
intimidate you.
up. I'm going to tell you.
You gonna
He
call
has
the cops
called
on me
me-
again?
When you cause a disturbance, I will, like you did before.
Yeah.
When you call us corrupt, call us incompetent, say we're liars, I take offense to that. That's disparaging our department. He's done that every year, and he takes every editorial comment that he can make to try to make us look bad. Now, we try to do our job as best as we can. Now, for this particular property, I don't know how to explain a $125,000 mortgage. There had to have been an appraisal, and should this go to small claims, which I'm certain that it is, because he always requires that all of his clients sign up to go to small claims. I'm going to have the appraisal report subpoenaed, and any documents related to the loan or any improvements that home headquarters may or may not have done to the property. And then I'm going to read something that he shared with the media. And I'm just going to take a small section, because this email was sent to me, to show you how he operates. Well, the only thing more screwed up than the assessor's office is the lily white crony-based Board of Assessment review. The city of Syracuse is more than 50% non-white, yet the Board of Assessment review and the assessor's office is 100% white. My clients feel that they have to hire me, a white guy, in order to get a fair shake. Well, first of all, I haven't seen him in here with a minority client, which that statement implicates. And as far as our office being lily white, you don't know me. You don't know a damn thing about my heritage. And this is what set me off. I'm African American. We all don't look alike, and you better damn well know it. So you're going to sit up here and imply that we're being racist?
Are you on the Board of Assessment Review?
You said this about our department. I'm talking, not you. You had your chance. And you just run your mouth with a bunch of extraneous so-called facts. I'm not disputing anything. And you know what the ironic thing
Where
is?
did 53% come from?
I value what's in front of me. That's the end of that conversation. And you know what the ironic thing is? I consider you a highly intelligent man. Misguided, but highly intelligent. Here's my comparable information.
The taxpayers feel differently.
And we don't use the cost approach. I don't know any professional appraiser doing residential property on any properties that's in excess of 50 years of age, in which is most of the housing stock in the city of Syracuse, uses the cost approach because it's not relevant, because you can't determine the exact degree of depreciation in the property. So we don't use it. The comparable report that we print out from version 4 will give you an estimated cost. Okay? Now, getting back to how do you explain a $125,000 mortgage and a $45,000 value? Somebody had to have appraised that property for a value equal to and exceeding $125,000.
I'd like to see a copy of the appraisal.
Yeah, she doesn't have a copy of the appraisal.
If she
That's
paid
part of
for it,
that's
she's
part of
got a
what's
copy.
irregular about all of this is the property condition disclosure statement is not signed by the, to me, there appears to be an issue with the attorney and with the realtor, and the property condition disclosure statement is not signed by the seller.
Is she able to get a copy of the appraisal from home?
I asked her for
headquarters?
the appraisal. And it says who did the appraisal, so, you can get it from them, but she doesn't have it. I asked her for it, and I have the purchase contracts, and let's go through the home headquarters thing if you want to see some irregularities. But since he brought it up, in fact, I was thinking about bringing it up.
Let me just say, let's try to stay on course, because we've got that other property.
Yeah. I mean, you got another white guy on the Board of Assessment Review. In the 20 years, have you ever had a non-white
What does
person
it
on
have
this
to do
board?
with the price of
You brought it
eggs?
up.
We have.
You brought it, have you? Okay, good for you. But,
Well, just know what my heritage is, and don't ever refer to our department as lily white
yeah,
again,
okay, Pocahontas.
okay?
Let's see. So anyway, 46,000, the whole rest of the street. Oh, okay, anyway, here it is. Here's a cost valuation report. Now, residential properties are valued based on comparable sales, but it's, indicative, So if you look at the pictures and you look at the cost valuation report, you can see why the property is what it is. So, a recent sale, if at arm's length and not abnormal in any way, is the best indication of value at that time. But this thing is abnormal in every which way that you can imagine. And when you're at 57.5%, it's illegal to use the sale. Because what happens is that all the other properties that didn't sell, if they did sell, then they would be up 53%, but they didn't sell. That's what unequal is all about. And that's what he did, is he pinned the purchase price.
I did not, I've never used
Well,
the
show
sale
us how
price
you
to determine
calculated
the,
it. How did you come up with the figure?
because I looked at what comparable sales were selling for. I didn't use the
Did you
sale price.
submit comparable
That's-
sales?
What the hell do you think I submitted in my evaluation? I just submitted it to
Can
the
I get a
board.
copy of
Sure,
what he
I'm not
submitted?
afraid for you to see anything that I put out.
Well, why don't you give
But
me the
stop
data up front?
accusing
Right,
us.
so we'll give you the comparable sales, and then we'll have to move on to the other property.
Yeah. Yep, so this here is the neighboring properties. This one was 59.9. After they did the local, it went up 15. The other one, 73 to 88, went up 20%, 17%, 10.4%, 29%, 13.7, 12.5, and 11.3. It averages 11.1%, or I'm sorry, 16.1%. There you go. And so anyway, it's, we went through this on Parish Ave last year. We went through it on Parish Ave the year before. And you wrote in your determination that I was unqualified and unprepared, and yet I won at SCAR. So,
Yeah, which I was shocked at,
Yeah, when a
it
hearing
couldn't be
officer,
more obvious.
from Mr.
When a hearing
Gradzenza.
It could not be more obvious. He used the sale.
A long-term realtor claims that somebody not going into the property is qualified. I was shocked at that.
Not somebody not going into,
Yeah.
I will never go into anybody's property. This is not Russia.
So, again,
and
It's a
getting
major
back to that
criteria.
hearing officer, when a hearing officer lowers the property value substantially less than what the person paid for it, when
He
I
illegally
wanted
assessed
to
the property,
appeal that,
period.
I was told we don't do that.
Ray knows the law, and he follows the law. That's the difference.
I think Ray was intimidated by you, like I think you try
Shit,
to
but
intimidate
I've done
everybody.
50 cases with Ray. He's not intimidated by me at all.
Yeah, right. I think he's the only hearing officer that'll hear your cases.
Dude, I've done it in 37 counties. I do pretty good,
Good for you.
Yeah. So, okay, anyway, what do you say we get to 949?
You gave me the commentary, but no comps.
Well, they're with the paperwork that I gave you, I thought.
No.
Oh,
All right, well, she's going to make copies of those, so let's go on to Maryland.
It's nice to get them after the fact,
there you go.
All right, well, that's
I
fine.
don't have Maryland, that's
I mean,
Joe's.
just for future
Right.
reference, your notice says that you want all this data 3 days before. Is he supposed to provide it 3 days before? But you don't review it until the time of the hearing, so what's the point? But it would be nice if I had his data.
Well,
If-
we
If they just
accept-
give me the data, I won't be disparaging anybody, just give me the data.
We accept anything that you have at the hearing as well.
Yeah? No, you give me the data, I won't disparage anybody, but if you don't give me the data, it leads me to believe that there's something going on.
All right, well, there's
asked
definitely
me for
nothing
data,
going
go get
on.
it.
A lot going on.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
I saw you on YouTube ask a guy where he was from. He's from Long Island. What is the relevance? Are you going to stick it to him because he's an out-of-town commercial property owner? What is that?
No.
What are you talking about?
He flew in, and I wanted to know where he flew from.
No, you were going to stick it to him. I watched it carefully.
See, here we go. He,
Yeah, maybe I'm paranoid, or maybe I'm
I'm
right.
not a professional psychologist, but I'm sure one might come up with that distinction.
Yeah.